Hola, bienvenidos amigos, welcome to the Spanish channel and Grammar Checkpoint 3, all about making nouns plural. So like with any grammatical point, I always think it's a good idea to ensure you know how to do that in your own language before you try to do it in the language you're also learning. Now in English, it does frustrate me when people say, oh, to make a noun plural, you just need to put an S on the end, which is rule one of a number of rules in English. It's really not that straightforward in English. If you have a look through these rules, maybe pause the video shortly, you'll see what I'm talking about. Luckily, it's much easier to do in Spanish, as we're going to see shortly. So have a read through the rules in English and then we'll compare them to the Spanish. Okay, it might sound like a cliche, but rule number one when you're making a noun plural in Spanish is if it ends in a vowel, you just need to add an S. For example, hombre, man, hombres, men. We've seen this before with words like piso, flat, pisos, casa, house, casas. Quite simply add an S. Rule 2, if the noun ends in a consonant, you need to add an ES. So for example, the word woman, mujer, we're going to put an ES at the end, mujeres. If you just put an S there, think about the pronunciation. You'd be saying mujeres, which does not sound very Spanish at all. Probably the trickiest rule in Spanish when making nouns plural is if they end in a Z. For example, luz, light, or path, peace. Essentially, we're going to remove the Z and add a CES. So luz, light, becomes luces. Pez, fish, would become peces, fish. And rule 4, if you have a noun ending in a consonant, for example, camión, but the penultimate letter is a vowel with an accent, an acute accent, so that would be the final syllables, or camión, then you need to remove the accent and add ES. So camión becomes camiones. And so your task today is to pluralize these 15 nouns. I don't even know if pluralize is a word, but I like it. I've put a reminder here as well in grid form of how to make singular nouns plural. Okay, and that's also in the feminine form should you need it. So have a look through the rules one more time. Pluralize your nouns. I'll come back to you shortly. Gracias, hasta luego. Y listos en 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's have a look through our answers. So, nouns ending in an O or an A, like the first 4, we just simply add an S to the end. Okay, so gato, gatos, tortuga, tortugas. Always useful to make sure you know what the English mean as well, folks. Now, number 5, our noun ending in a Z. Remember what we said? You remove the Z and you add a CES. So, pez, fish, becomes peces, fish. Notice in English, we don't actually change the word fish. We say fishes, for example. Raton ends in a consonant, but also the penultimate letter, the vowel with the accent. Remember, we remove the accent and we add an ES. So, ratones. And now a good time just to pause the video and check your answers, please. And that is quite simply how you make nouns plural in Spanish. Far easier than in English, I'd say. Okay, join me next time for Grammar Checkpoint 4 when we will be talking all about gender agreements. For now, hasta luego!